Well, a lot of people ask me what I think borderline personality disorder is. And to really understand what it is, you've got to understand where it comes from. Like the American Board of Psychiatry has its theories about borderline personality disorder. One of them, one of the most famous and popular ones, is that borderline personality disorder is a form of bipolar disorder because of the fact that the patient will go through mood swings of either periods of manic episodes or depression, feel bouts of anger, grandiosity is another one, and there's so many more, and they do have similarities to bipolar disorder, but there's one big distinct difference that the American Board of Psychiatry is missing, that bipolar disorder is a chemical imbalance, and that the patients of bipolar disorder go through these mood swings of excitement, joy, anger, manic to depressive, anxiety, anger, all over the place, because they can't control it. They can't. It's a chemical imbalance. Where borderline personality disorder has triggers that causes the patient to go into these periods of manicness or depression. And these triggers are deep-rooted. They're hardwired into the borderline personality disorders sufferer's brain. And it's true, it's proven scientifically, that we only use 10% of our human mind. The other 90% is still uncharted territory. So, the American Board of Psychiatry, they know this, but they have their theories, and they base their theories on testimonies from other borderline personality disorder patients. And I like to quote this because of the fact that this is how they make us feel like we're being probed at with a stick somehow, you know, not really understanding us. So, borderline personality disorder has a deep-rooted system, and a lot of it has to do with trauma, long before you even knew where the trauma even came from. Like, my idea of trauma that I came from was that I was put on trauma before I was even out of the womb of my mother. And I know you're thinking, it's like, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. How do you remember? It's not what you remember, it's what you can pinpoint in your mind by trying to access parts of the other 90% of your brain. And it is possible to do this. It's very possible to do this. So, what I found out was that my borderline personality disorder was not really any of my emotions at all whatsoever. It was from my mother, who was physically, psychologically, and emotionally abused from my father while she was pregnant with me. So those emotions carried on to me. As I'm part of my mother while I'm still inside of her womb, her emotions become a part of me. So when I learned how to channel that and get rid of that and separate it, that those are her emotions that were transferred onto me biologically, now it takes the impact, it takes the sting out of everything. And now they're just, I don't want to say memories, but in a way they are memories, and the emotional trauma is no longer there anymore once I figured that out. So that's the difference between borderline personality disorder and bipolar disorder. So if you're interested in more, about knowing more, just email me. and I can tell you anything that you want to know. Alright?